Bliss Show. Yeah, she make your face like Julie Pop. I don't mind if you go love for pop. Dark skin girl, I love it, Tom. In the spaceship, I fly Jupiter. If I ever did you wrong, you deserve it. Every girl who's loving you deserve it. I've been drinking all day and it was worth it. I was drinking all day and it was Baby, I'ma see it top. Just put the bitch, I'm in a bend over. Say she wanna come because I'm in a room. For a sleep for girl, you need a lighter. No biting. Bitch, I feel like I'm in a fighting. You put it in your within, there's no doubting. She want me for my life, so exciting. Who's calling? Brian calling. No answer. She loves cycling, just love typing. I don't like it. Only God is calling my section. Only you are happy. She make her waist like Julie Pop. I don't mind if you go along for pop. Dark skin girl, I love it, Tom. In the spaceship, I fly Jupiter. If I ever did you wrong, you deserve it. Every girl is loving you, deserve it. I've been drinking all day and it was worth it. I was drinking all day and it was good. Baby, I'ma see it. Just leave the bitch, I'm in a bend over. Says she wanna come because I'm in a room. For a sleep, but you need a lighter. No fighting. Bitch, I feel like I'm in a fighting. If you with me, then you're winning, there's no doubting. She want me for my life, so exciting. Who's calling? Private caller. No answer. She loves cycling, we just love typing. I don't like it. Only God is styling my section. Only if you know how long I've been waiting. Pick up this section. She make the ways I do it for. I don't mind if you go along for pop. Asking why I love it, Tom. In this spaceship, I fly Jupiter. If I ever did you wrong, you deserve it. Every girl is loving you, deserve it. I've been drinking all day and it was worth it. I was drinking all day and it was. I just want to go favor. Then you remember to your later. If I deposit in our store. Oh, you're easy to secure. Oh, no, you're for my love. Because you put your body for this show. Only for the money out go. Only for the money out go. Side these circles, this for the money from the inside chill. I'm a mystery. Yes, what's up, family? Karibuni sana to yet another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss right here on the Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Joby, to the first-time listeners and viewers, and of course to the Black Hot Fire Network family. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning, good night, wherever the time is on your end. For us, it is exactly 18 minutes past 1 p.m. It is afternoon, and of course, a good afternoon from us. And I hope you guys, your week is coming out great so far. The 24th of the month, the 5th month of the year 2023. And I hope so far so good for you. That is all I wish, nothing else. We are directing nothing but positive energy, winnings, and of course, yesterday said every small winning counts. Every small win that literally you acquire in your life, every small salary, every small thing that piles up in your life, in terms of it keeps on accumulating, like it's rising. Just appreciate that and celebrate it, because there are those times you wish you could be really where you want to be, but look at you right now. You made it. But of course, appreciate every step you're taking. Karibuni sana once again. This is the Pan-African Bliss, and of course, you're listening to the media of the 21st century, the Black Hot Fire Network radio station, the #1 online radio station. And of course, this particular episode is all about the African continent. But as for the platform, it's all about listening, engaging, and transforming. And most importantly, like I say, uniting African people all over the world. And today I have a very interesting topic. Before we get back a little bit into the music, come back with a quote of the day. I have a very interesting topics, a couple of videos, articles to read on what is going on. How long have we been having slavery, sex slavery literally going on? Because I feel like still it's being practiced amongst us as within the African continent, within the African communities, societies, and it's not well dealt with. And when I'm speaking about sex slavery, I think for me, I'm not gonna term it as where I'm going to, of course, refer back to the history, how women used to be treated by this. That's what you can see from my thumbnail, how Black women used to be treated by
black women used to be treated by the white men, for them to become literally sex slaves of them, especially in the farms where most of them were taken to do this plantation and everything. But apart from that, I feel like in the continent, it goes on. It is something that was left here, and it is hindering women every single day. And I'm talking about this whereby it starts with schools. I'll share a video. Schools come to. We're talking about the farms. We're just talking about the farms right now. Look at our tea farms right here in the 254. Generally, Africa, how people are being treated, not just women, but also black men. Look at the sex workers, which is something that literally brought my attention to this topic. Why do we still have sex workers? If this is not also something else that is engineered, where we can still continue being sex slaves, I don't know what it is, because that is why generally I brought up this topic. It feels like our continent is now, not only are we enslaved mentally, but we've been also enslaved when it comes to intimacy. Like, it it has gone so deep. And the reason my simple terms is say we're still masters of slave. We're still literally masters of sex slave. And this is actually to most of the people who are in these things that I'm gonna be mentioning: sex workers, people being exploited, literally sex for grades, I'll say that, sex for jobs, sex for a lot of things. Like right now we're living in the continent of where we're still masters of sex. That is how simple I really put it. But of course, karibuni sana for you this who are tuning in. Click the like button as you join in. And of course, thank you so much. Let me know what's the time on your end. It is exactly 21 minutes past 1 p.m. And of course, it's a very good afternoon. The weather today is really fair and I love it, love it, love it. But I hope for you, you are also doing amazing. Go back to the music. That was NSG with Lupita, and I hope you guys get to enjoy this amazing banger over here. One of my favorites, literally. I really love them so much, and I hope you guys get to enjoy this amazing banger. And let me know, what's your quote of the day today? She break her waist like Julie Pam. I don't mind if we go a look for pa. That skin guy like Lupita. If I ever did you wrong, you deserve it. Somehow always align with that word. Like, if I ever did you wrong, I just know you deserve it. I don't know why I always like literally just like vibe along with it. Like, I feel like if I ever did you wrong, you deserve it. There's no, I'm just gonna come out of disrespect if you didn't do me anything wrong. Literally. So if I did you wrong, you simply deserve it. But that is not my quote of the day. Let me know what is the quote of the day. And of course, for those who are just tuning in, karibuni sana. This is the Black Out Fire Network radio station, and you're listening to the Pan-African Bliss. Me being your host, Joby. And of course, remember to follow us in case it is your first time right here. And we promise you nothing but just good, amazing, amazing, amazing discussions. That is what we are all about. My quote of the day today says, your hardest times often lead you to the greatest moments of your life, and keep going. Tough situations build strong people in the end. And that is true. And that's always go back to something that always literally stuck in my mind since I ever came across that word. Everything that happens to you, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Everything that happens to you, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you, because there's greatness meant to come after. But let me know what is your quote of the day, and of course, I'd love to be motivated by you. She just lies and flips. But besides it, stars and comes up, pull up on the edge, GTI, that's a first cut. She black like this, sexy like fever. She break her waist like Dolly Pop. Dark skin girl like Lupita. You deserve it. Yeah. That is just literally the end of this amazing jam. I really love NSG. NSG to the world. They always say that NSG to the world, and of course to the rest of the people, to the world, Manze. You need to be recognized for the little you do, or rather the services you give outside there. Even in that little occupation of yours, like your circle of that occupation, you need to a recognition. It is always really important. But karibuni sana once again, and of course, welcome to everyone who's just tuning in. This is the Pan African Bliss, exactly 25 minutes past 1 p.m. Let me know what's the time on your end. How is the week coming along so far? Shout out to all the amazing women in the building. Hashtag WCW. And of course, I hope you maintain it. Just hang on there, hang on there. You're doing amazing. That is what I'd say. Joe Mosquito is saying that, Joby, if I did you wrong, same time next year. That's my personal saying. I think you're gonna do me wrong every year. So hey, I'm used to you. Like, I think you're gonna do me wrong every goddamn time. But anyway, karibu sana. I hope you're doing amazing. And of course, are you at work or are you at home? I'd love to know also from your end. And like I said, today's discussion, as we get straight into it, we want to talk about something very interesting. And I think it's not really interesting. You can see when my mood has already changed, because it comes very deep and very heavy to see that women have to undergo this every single day. And me being a lady, I don't know. It can come with rape. It can come with that. People want to take advantage of you, telling you need to bend over for me to give you a job in the office. You need to do the shout out to Spikes again. You need to do this and this. You need to do like a lot of shenanigans. A lot of things. And if I try now relate with the video that I bumped into when I was trying to do the research of these stories, I saw this takes us back to history, where we had, when our women, literally our ancestors being taken away from the continent, we had women who are being sexually assaulted, and same being assaulted, they became sex slaves. And I think the video is going to be explaining much better on which the way I understood it. But if I try look at it again deeper to emphasize the whole thing, I think Africa still to date, we are actually still slaves of sex in different ways. And I think this is mostly affecting women. And it's not just only women. If you look at men, there's this, I don't know what really it's up with. I don't know what's up with the fixing your mentality in a sort of where you feel like you need to be in a woman for you to give them a chance. We also have men who do not really want to have these women in society who are facing such crisis. We've literally normalized like it's okay. We need to keep quiet about these situations. Nobody can come. If you are raped, it's all up. You're judged because you're told it's your dressing code that is a problem. It's an issue. If I'm trying to be sexy, like, hey, I want to look sexy all the goddamn time. Trust me. And I think I do. I personally, I'm not find me with long dresses. I've grown up with that all my life, and you have no idea. I waited so long where I can literally be able to decide what I'll wear. Especially when I met my dad, I could not literally decide what I can wear. If you try wear a vest and it's literally hot, you're being told you're exposing your boobs. I barely have no boobs. I'm like, what are you talking about? And this is the same thing that literally, I think most of the men, now we come to the society, men have also, and of the society too, they have kept it in their mind, like, if you try dressing a certain way, you're exposing yourself, and that is why you ended up being raped. I'm trying to be me. You do you. You feel like you're okay with long clothes, trying to be Pastor War or want to be Jesus. That is you. I want to be, you call me every type of names, but I want to look sexy. That's it. I want to look like a hoe. I want to look sexy. Period. But before we get there, I see Danny Harrison in the building, Karibu Sana. Keith as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can say that you can have a lot of Keith, come on. please spare me with that word. Spare me with that word. But anyway, before we start, I want to take you back a little bit into what is going on. Of course, when it comes to Nigerians, I want to start with Nigerians, those who are mostly in the UK. And it seems that the UK government is tired with immigration, these people coming in their country and everything. Why can't you stay in your literally? Why can't you stay in your country and fix your own shit? Why are you running away? Why are you looking for better while you can get and have better literally in the continent? So the UK government literally, it seems like it's tired with Nigerians, and I think this actually comes out funny. I think it is funny to me. I find it literally funny. But let me get to read this article for you. And I see Samuel also in the building. Karibu sana. Hope you're doing amazing. And thank you so much for tuning into the Pan-African Bliss. So there's this guy, you can see on your screen, is a UK migrant. And literally he says that some people have to hide their identity behind being students. So what does this literally give me? So most of the people who are moving away from Africa, they're not even, like, if it's not all about the greener pastures, I mean, what is it that you're looking for? Why do you want to move? I want to understand and sit down with most of the people and ask, like, why would you want to move out of the continent apart from not having jobs, not being given job opportunities and everything? Don't you think you can create what you're looking for, like, here in the continent? Because to this point where you have to go outside your continent and act like you are a student, for how long are you gonna have to live literally lying to yourself? You're trying to fit somewhere where you don't belong, and your life literally, it's on the line where you are. This is crazy. But they're saying that as the government restricts visas for family members of some of the foreign students, a YouTuber who advised Nigerians on studying in the UK says some are not looking for new qualification, but to start a new life abroad. Isn't that really amazing? Let's go on. They're saying the recording from his home in Birmingham, sorry. Emende Tiamu promotes himself to thousands of subscribers as YouTube's #1 guide to scholarship, fellowship, and Japa-ships. The last word Japa is the Yoruba term for to live, he explains, and it is a buzzword among Nigerians eager to escape their country's problem with corruption and poor governance. You are the governor, you are the government, but you're running away from the government. You're running away from your people. You're running away from your true home, literally where you can be anything and anyone without having to be worried that if you're a black or if you're going to be getting butt plugs. Literally, you have to run away. I don't think that is a solution enough. And it's the part for me where they have to lie. They have to take scholarships or whatever they want to do, like you can hear him saying, the #1 key guides to scholarships, fellowships, and Japa-ships, which is to live. You need to act like you're a student. Wow, this is amazing. But that's the saying that people, this is what he says, that people are looking for the alternatives and they want to escape Nigeria. Why? Poverty. That is poverty, #1, of course. Look at the maintenance of Nigeria right now. I was just talking about this. This was on Monday, and I was talking about where we have Buhari is supposed to leave literally the seat by 29th of this month. And of course, they're supposed to appoint the elect president, who is Tinubu. Of course, the elections were stolen. We saw this case being represented to the court, but of course, the court adjourned the case. And, it's just crazy. With the African politics, we know how it goes. We don't even want to go back there. But on Monday, remember, during my discussion, I talked about Buhari leaving the seat. And if you look at most of the Nigerians, what they're complaining about, the legacy of this guy, which is leaving behind. And I gave a perfect example with most of the African leaders, apart from those who really had, and most of them have been assassinated, because we know that. Perfect example is Magufuli. That is what we were showing just yesterday on the Africa Today show. Oh, he died because of, some unknown disease. And most of them, that is what they end up happening. But in real sense, if you check the history, I was talking about the history, the legacy of leadership on Monday. If you look at the legacy of leadership in Africa, we can't talk about anything positive about these leaders. Not what we really, not the fake history given in books where we told Jomo Kenyatta this and this, they are heroes of the country. They were literally part of the Mau Mau rebellion, but they were traitors. If you check the real legacy of Africa, it's all theft, genocide, judicial killings, everything you want to talk about that is supposed to literally keep the African people at the bottom. That is what they have done, and including innocent lives. They'll do anything and get rid of anyone trying to get out of their way. That is the African legacy we have in terms of leadership. Now you come back to these people who are leaving the country. I mean, for how long are you going to keep on living? For how long are you going to keep on living? Because if they want to claim like literally countries being businesses or companies, then let's fight for these companies, because you are part of the company. We had Ruto saying that Kenya is a company where they have shareholders, stakeholders, shareholders, stakeholders, and whatever they said. And I'm like, where do I belong as a citizen, as a common mwananchi? Aren't I part of this company? Even if I've not chipped any money, I can still literally fight and become part of this company. But most of us do not realize that. And we can't be part of it by actually putting the notion of, I can't, of course, I agree what I said yesterday. I go back to my words. You can't fight when you're hungry, but I believe you can still fight. For those majority, not everyone is starving, for crying out loud. Not everyone is starving. You can't keep on running away. I want us always, especially this goes back to the people in the continent. Look at the amount of money you have to save up to pay visas. Look at the amount of money you have to save up. I don't know to do what, to get what documents, to go to this outside, to literally go outside the continent. Look at the amount of money you have to spend and see what that money, if you want to venture into businesses right here in your continent where you're running away, thinking where you're going, it's the best. And I think you are warned. Don't go to the UK. Don't go to Canada. Don't go. I think I shared a video of that some time back. Africans are being warned. Do not step your foot. Unless you've been living there over 20 years, or you have family members who have been living there for over 20 past 20 years, then okay. But you've been there for like 3 months, 3 years, you feel like now you know the whole situation. You don't know anything. But if we always want to feel like, those people are warning us like they ain't shit, they don't know shit, you want to go experience shit. And until you come back in different parts of the body, now you are shit. It is crazy. But let me read this again. Let's continue. They're saying that the fifth, Mr. Timayu offers an advice of navigating immigration system like the UK, and says that for the most of the people, the only legal and broadly accessible route is through education system. We can build a better education and the best education right here in Africa. But if only we realize we need to get rid of the puppets. We can't do it by waiting on the puppets to do it. We have to do it by getting rid of the puppets. Period. You're also saying that the student's route is more likely to an answered prayer, and it's a big bracket that enables to take a lot of people, the ordinary people. And the fifth of the UK student visas last year went to the Nigerians. Went to Nigerians. Excuse me. Were 120,000 in total. Can you imagine? 120,000 in total. People are just fleeing outside the country, living because of the situation of how Africa has been set up. And the people we run into, do you know how funny shit is? The people we run into, they're still stealing from our continent. They're still literally holding the oil project, the resources that we think they are literally, that we can find. It is all here. If only we can just realize this, and if only we can really be able to be taught this and change the system of education and learn all this. We can make Africa the UK we want, the New York we want, the California not of today, but we can make literally all the visions we see outside here. Because one, by traveling, and I always say this, don't travel without any reason. And I think I said this some time back. I don't want to be like, if I want to tour the world seriously, I don't want to tour the world just because I want to go eat some, I don't know, Chinese bullshit. And, some, I don't know. I want to tour for no nonsense. I want to tour where I'm making money and collecting knowledge. And literally ideas on how I can come and create a business here. I don't have to apply the exact same way I've seen there, because that is their own way. But I can bring the idea and work it my way, profit my own way. That is what I want to do. I don't want to travel for vlogs, for photos, for, I don't know, to be seen that right now I'm on the air. No. For flex? No. I want to travel to come be able to bring back ideas that can work for me. For me. But back to this. A fifth of the UK student visas that went out last year is 120,000 in total. That is a huge number to play with. Can you imagine how many people are unemployed? Let me check in Nigeria. How many people are unemployed in Nigeria? And how many are yet to leave? Because if the excuse is you using becoming a student, how many people are willing to leave? Let's see. How many people are unemployed in Nigeria? Okay, let's see. So they're saying that unemployed persons in Nigeria, the average is okay. That is 13,297,000. That was in 2014. I want those. I don't want 2014. I want 2023. Let's see. Nigerians' unemployment rate is 41%. Let me see that. Let me see. Get the correct thing. Okay, so they're saying that they're saying that 23% featured in 2023 featured 53% youth unemployment, makes Nigeria world's second worst in the whole world. Wow. Of course, it's the most populated one in Africa, especially. They're saying that 2023 featured 53% youth, the majority. And now we were speaking about the if you look at the capacity of the young people, we are the majority. We are the majority. Like Dr. Mombi was explaining, Kamlesh explained this. We are the majority. So it's the youth. 53% of the youth makes Nigeria world's second worst. And Nigeria has the second highest number. Nigeria has the second highest number of unemployed youths in the world. And the Global Youth Unemployment Index has shown this particular information. What has caused this? Of course, you have to take us back to the roots of what has caused all this. Takes us back to history, how we as African people, we have been exploited, destroyed, conquered, everything you want to talk about, indoctrinated, made stupid, looked docile, everything. This is what has led to all this. One, so concentrated on religion. I still blame the Europeans. I still blame us. Both parties play. Okay, we can't, again, I go back to a video I also shared some time back. We can't keep on blaming the colonizers. We can't keep on, of course they are the cause, but we can't keep on. Okay, that notion of you running away from, you already know history, but you want to keep on running around the history, but not bringing the solution. You want to keep on saying, okay, you know, I was affected by this. I feel so horrible. I need compensation. And then you sit down, then after the compensation is over, you start crying again. You know, I'm still affected. I need another compensation. Come on. You need to be better. You need to do better. Can't keep on crying. You can't keep on crying. And I realized that the moment I was fed up, I was like, I'm tired of begging for jobs. I'm tired. I woke up my ass and I became very busy online applying for jobs. I was even texting Kim Kardashian, telling her I want a job. If I want to go through my Instagram, I was doing all sorts of crazy things. You can't keep on saying you want a change and you sit on it. Come on. You can't. So this goes to these, I don't know what's up with these people, but let me read a little bit of the article of what they're saying. They're saying that the fifth of the students that went last year is 120,000 in total, and with half of the students themselves and half for the partners, half for the students themselves and half for the partners and children, Nigeria's had more family visas for foreign students than any other nationality. And now, ahead of migrations figures on Thursdays expected to show that a record of 700,000 people came to the UK last year. Wow. Wow. Okay. Last year, and the government is blaming people taking some uh graduate course such as master's degree from getting visas for their spouse and children. And also saying that Mr. Timui says that he can understand why the government might want to take actions, and increasingly people are signing up to the courses and are willing to pay fees, which is 22,000 euros a year on average to the UK educational institution. Let me check how much is this in Kenya. The 22,000 euro. 22,000. How much is 22,000 in euro? Euro in Kenyan shillings, yeah. Let's see. Wow. Wow. What? What? Oh, no, 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 no. What? 22,000 euros. This is 3 million. You have a land, you have a shop running, you have a lot running. Okay, you can start building next year. But 3 million, you have a land, secure a land first. One, okay, come up with some business ideas. Start it running, get a store, pay for it, get the equipment, and start running your business that you've had always in your mind. And then you still have some stocks, put some savings, get everything you wanted maybe for your house, and then relax and see everything manifest itself. And of course, let money start generating, because you've already now secured 1, 2, 3 things. But oh my God, I don't know. Do Africans reason? I'm sorry to say, increasingly people are signing up to the courses and are willing to pay fees of 22,000 euros a year. It's still a lot. I don't care if it's a month or a year. It's still a lot of money. Back in Africa, that is a lot of money. Oh shit. And then you're gonna see these people are the same people when everything, maybe something happens, they come back to Africa stranded. They come back to Africa all stranded. Such a shame. This is such a shame. And also saying that these a year on average to the UK educational institution, and just to give visas for themselves and their dependents. And they're saying that we're beginning to see that a lot of people just hide behind the studentship, and so the student thing is not real, and it's not like they need degrees. Most of the people genuinely intend to study, but the minority who do not, it's growing. Okay, while visas can be cut short, it's if foreign students' attendance and work is not good enough, Mr. Timuri says that there are still students who are really not worried about details of the education. Well, I guess you have to be worried right now, because the UK government does not want your black face over there. That's the simplest and literally the most calmest word I can really use. The UK government has declared it. They don't need you there. You need to literally, and you have to pay that amount for school a year for those who are literally taking the courses, and then you have to imagine the visas. You literally have like 10 million. You have like 10 million that you can do a lot with right here back in your, this even in Nigeria. Oh no, I don't know, man. If Africa, if you don't take actions and just, take actions for your country to be what you really want it to be, man, you're still making the Europeans rich, more wealthy. That is what I'd say. This is what you don't understand. We're still slaves in the mindset. Because why can't you reason how much you're going to spend? I'd rather not even like go for that further of education, but just have my future all secured. If I can really save up and get this amount of money a year or for visas, imagine what I can do in the next 5 years. If now I use this money I've saved and start a business, imagine how much I've had in terms of profit. It's a lot. It's a lot. And we waste so much time in education, while the real things, after you're done, you spend. I used to ask myself growing up, why do we have grown-ass men who are 35, 40 still in university? What are you doing in school? It never used to click in my head. Trust me. I used to wonder, why would you be 30, especially from 30, like 30, 35, 40. You're still in university. What are you studying? Why do you want to waste so much time with this fucked up education? If you're studying laws, you're studying their laws. If you want to become a lawyer, you're studying their laws. You nothing to do with Africa. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to justice, it's going to apply their way. Everything we waste our time on, it's their system, their way. It works their way, not the African way. I mean, why can't we reason about this? But we have no people to help us reason. That is the simplest way I'll put it. Because if it's the puppets, they have failed. And that's why they are puppets. It's crazy. It is crazy. Well, that is one story from Nigeria and what the UK government has said. Literally, I think they don't want any more Nigerians over there, and they are banning Nigerians from taking any more visas and from going to the UK. And I think it's cool. I mean, come back, stick to your country, and until you realize, like, hey, something needs to be done, and wake up the rest of your team and same age group and go outside there, demonstrate without fear, take over the country and build it, or rather demand it to be built out how you really want it, for a system that works for you, then I guess you're not ready. This is why you're gonna still be treated like trash anywhere you go as a black person, because one, you don't realize that you have the best in your continent. That is what's up. But then I see, let me go to the comments a little bit before I move on to the main agenda, because I see time really rushes so quick, man. And I see Daniel saying that never judge a book by its cover, a man by his wealth, and a man by his wealth, I. Okay, let me go that through again. Never judge a book by its cover, a man by his wealth, I. And if you already on your feet, why don't you help someone else? That's what I thought. That's what I was taught to. So that's what I was taught. So that's what I love by. Okay, I think I need to sink in that very slowly and understand it before I answer you. Never judge a book by its cover, a man by his wealth. And if you are already in your feet, why don't you help someone else? And that's what I was taught. Exactly. I believe in that too. But there's some people who take advantage of your kindness. So F that, man. I'm not helping people anymore. I'm done. And Keith, I see you saying that you can have a lot of a lot of bad plugs, Joby. Put it. Please, you can. Oh, exactly. You can have a lot of butt plugs put inside you. And Samuel Karibu Sana, once again, good morning, good afternoon to you from our end. And Keith is saying that nobody wants to live on sheets, rivers, but truthfully, Africans do not fight Joby. They run away from everything, which is so wrong. See right now, until you started being treated like shit, and then we're like, these people are racist. You should know they are racist before you start applying for a visa, trying to go anywhere you want to go. I want to go to China. I want to go to France. I want to go to Italy. What's up? Why can't you say you want to go to Kenya? Why can't you go say you want to go to Rwanda? You know what's up with Africans? We've barely toward our own continent. We know nothing about each other as African people. But we are willing to go interact with Chinese and Indians and every type of these white hairy people, what they look like. You don't want to come interact with anyone who is African like you. You don't want to go because, come on. Man, if I want to go out, I want to tour Africa first. The list of the countries I can be able to step on, that's a flex. It's a flex. And I said it's a flex if I'm getting ideas. It's not just a flex because I'm traveling. But again, it's a flex. Come on. Because not so many people get that opportunity. We've not been given, but you are given the opportunity. You can save up 3 million to go pay school fees a year, 22 euros. Oh my God, I'm still in shock. But you can't take 10,000, 20,000, travel to Kenya. Even literally, I've seen someone travel to Tanzania on a budget of, is it Tanzania or where? Literally, you can travel so many places if you have a budget. And I've seen the list, it's 50,000 Kenyan shillings. You just do research on the currencies, everything. Come on, and you have everything figured out. You want to go have different types of French food and everything, take pictures in Paris and everything. Have you taken a picture, even seen any of your African museums? What's the history behind it? Do you ask yourself why you're African, or is it because you're born as African? Come on. We need to be better. Saying Africa is so bad. That's why they don't want to fix it, because they are scared to get rid of the puppets. Exactly. That is what they are. And I'm saying you can't keep on being scared. You need to put on actions. Trust you me, you need to put on actions. You need to do that. You need to apply the actions. And Kitty is saying that, yep, they are the ones who are telling from you. That's right. Exactly. You're saying that millions are unemployed in Nigeria, Joby. I see that. Because I bet it's not even 53%. Could be more. It could be more. It could be more. And I see Samuel, you're saying that you what? I didn't get that. I didn't get that. But you're saying that we have you, Joby, to help us reason. Yes, exactly. I'm trying that. And Samuel, you're saying that what's really sad is that the educated class that lives most times. That's the funny shit. Okay, we have the educated class. I'm gonna defend that. We have the educated class, and we also have the non-educated class. The non-educated class is this group, let's say, like those who are mostly taken to Saudi Arabia, to these Arabic countries. They're just told, like, hey, you're coming from the village, and there's opportunities. You can literally go abroad. And then if you have this Jesus mindset and you hear abroad, you're like, wow, this is something great. This is an opportunity. So they tell you, for women, you've seen it's free. For men, you need to raise some money, of course. When it comes to these Arabic countries where you're going to become a domestic worker, a sex worker, or every type of bullshit you want to call it. But for women, it's free. So for me, the uneducated one, Samuel, if you come to me, approach me and tell me, like, I have an opportunity for you. All you need to give me is your ID, your parents' ID, and your birth certificate, and you're good to go. You're gonna make millions of money and come back to Africa for just 2 years. I'm like, hey, yeah, that's a deal. Like, yo, and especially they take advantage of this because most of them is those who are coming from high school. When you're coming from high school, you know nothing. Your mind is so locked. You know nothing. You've literally not even experienced your adult. You're just getting started to know who you are in terms of now wanting to step out as an adult. Like, you're not given that space. It's you're done with school, we have a job for you, but all they do is just they're exploiting you, because all they do is they pocket this money. They tell you they're going to take care of you when you're there, but they don't. You call these agencies, they don't respond. So we have two classes. Yeah, we have the educated classes and the non-educated classes. The educated classes is those who believe, what's the simplest term I can use, it's they have this mindset of I think it's I'm gonna describe by what I've seen. They have this mindset of they are the best than everyone else, because one, they are educated. um they don't need their children growing up in shit. They just have I don't know what, there's a type of mindset with these two classes. But yeah, I agree. Actually, I agree. It's 50-50 chances. It's 50-50. It's either the educated or the non-educated. Like literally both of them. Either way, they end up leaving most of the times. And I see Kate is saying 100% exactly, Joby. So true. You don't know nothing about Africa. Exactly. Most of them do not know anything about Africa, and they want to leave. I mean, try resonate with your people, learn their experiences, listen to them. For us, like we've gone so far in Tanzania, we've had people what they have to talk about when it comes to white people, when it comes to religion, when it comes to politics, when it comes to a lot of things. And we learned, trust me, we learned a lot. And right now, it's so easy for us when you go there to blend, because, hey, we understand each other. Like, you understand my history as a Kenyan, I understand your history as a Tanzanian. So what does this make us? African people, because someone tried to literally exploit us. Someone tried to do this and this. Like, wait, they come here, they try to do this and this, and it has become so easy for me. It has become so. I literally, I'd say for us, it has become so easy. Right now, we know all the corners of Tanzania. We can go blindly walking. We know this is the direction. this is the direction, and it's so amazing. Trust me. I see Samuel is saying that I'm talking about my experience, because Jamaica is basically an African country. Lots of my friends have left the country. I get what you're saying, Samuel. I do get what you're saying, but I'd say it's both educated and the non-educated. But thank you for explaining. And Keith also saying, and the funny thing is, all you Christians, Negro, go for this to these Arabic countries where they tell you to face they tell you to your face, don't bring that Jesus bullshit over here. Imagine we don't accept it. Imagine you're gonna end up becoming a Muslim. And this is where you just question yourself. Like, you need to question the religion bullshit. How come? Oh my God. How does someone just make you change your belief like that? I mean, which God just tells you change your religion because you are now in my house and I am this religion and I need you to bow down to this religion? Please, I can't, Father. I can't. Further than that, I'm done with that discussion. Good luck to Nigerians. Those who want to live, good luck to you. But trust me, it's not lasting longer. The truth is already been revealed. You've been acting students. It's over. Okay? You've been running away from your problems. It's over. It's time to face your problems. There's always there's a quote that always says, you can't keep on running away from your problems. You have to face them. And it is true. You can't keep on running away, hiding from left, right, and center through the back of the people or other countries. You need to face your goddamn problem. And that's on period. Well, as we get to the main topic of the day, because man, time is really running so quick. And I have a lot to say lately, my attention was brought up by the reason why I highlighted my topic like this is because, again, I'll go back to what I said earlier. I feel like Africa still we're slaves of sex. And when I'm saying we're slaves of sex, it starts from one where we have parents abusing children. That is not really it. That is actually rape. But I think also rape counts because we introduce all these type of cultures and behaviors that African men, we're seeing them right now practicing. I'm wearing a short dress. You feel like now you're horny. Now you can just come and grab me and 10 men of you and, assault me. And if I go try talk about it, hey, your dressing code was the problem. Why can't we have men in the society who can stand up for women and tell them, speak on our behalfs and say, like, hey, my dressing code is not a problem. Women dressing the way they want to dress, so long as you're not hoeing around, you're okay. I have the right to feel sexy. I have the right to wear anything I'm comfortable with, not what you're comfortable with. It's me. I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. You can make your own decisions. Okay? So when I'm trying to say Africa's it's still a literally enslaved country when it comes to especially sex. Men are now raping their daughters. Teachers are demanding sex from students. Workers are being demanded sex from their employers. We have nurses. We have so many things just going on when it comes to Africa, and especially our women are being exploited when it comes to sex. I want to share the first video, and this takes me back to history. We have a history of how women used to be, what really used to happen to them, Black women, how they used to be tortured sexually and everything. So I want to share this video as we discussed bits by bits, and as I get to share another one, which I won't share lots of it, and then read an article which is literally the norm situation in Africa every single day. Why do we have sex workers? That is one question I always ask myself every single day. One, lack of job opportunities has led to all this, where you have no option. But again, I think there's much deeper than that. And I feel like, one, we have our puppets involved in it. They have made this part of how should I say it? They have made this part of their agenda, or the Europeans' agenda, or, where Africa, I don't know who said we need to sell our bodies, like
feminism. Feminism.
Kamlesh is in the building.
Let me tell you something.
Go sit down, please.
Okay.
Kindly join me.
Let me tell you something. Feminism lied to women that selling their bodies is cool.
No, that's not feminism. This has nothing to do with feminism, literally.
What does feminism entail?
Karibu sana. First say hi to people.
Hello, people. It's the one and only Kamlesh. The best thing that has ever happened to your ears. I am the voice that separates the dirt from the gold.
Mhm.
I am the one that shows you the gem from the pebbles.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you this: sex workers in the modern era are a direct result of whoreship. Okay? Feminism has made it cool to get laid by about 60 guys.
No. If you eliminate feminism, Kamlesh, if you eliminate feminism,
What does feminism champion?
where did this all start from?
No, listen. You see, before we've always had sex workers. Actually, not Africa,
Mm-hmm.
the world.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, even Africa. Yeah.
Mhm.
If you go back, they weren't getting paid in shillings. They were getting paid in, we will not crucify you for being single. But what Africans used to do is, Africans would have multiple wives na watu wanakuliana mabibi.
Mhm.
That was the norm. That is actually the core of masculinity. You can't actually say you're a masculine human being when you have a single woman under you.
Mhm.
Masculinity is polygamy.
Mhm.
Yep. But anyway, what I was saying is, this modern agenda of feminism made it, hey, why are you trying to get married, fam? Do you know you can do it all by yourself? Hey, who told you you need a man to take care of them kids?
Nah,
listen.
You know, you want to interrupt my show first, and
Yes.
me, I feel this more than this without me. I'm taking you back to history, Kamlesh.
Mhm.
And there's a video I want to share. Thank you for joining. There's a video I want to share. In this video, is showing literally it's about sex slavery. Where did sex slavery come from?
Booty. White women never had ass. White man saw ass. He was like, I'm about to take this back to mines and I'm about to give it some mulattoes.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
And that was it. If you want to know why women have always wanted ass,
Mhm.
back in the day, their dresses used to be made with whatever things to make them look like ass.
Mhm.
But nowadays, they have BBLs.
Mhm.
You know, they can inject themselves. But at the core of it
Mhm.
was sex slavery was to produce more slaves.
Mhm.
Okay, they needed more workers
Mhm.
cheaply.
Mhm.
And what do? They'd find the biggest nigga,
Mhm.
find the biggest bitch,
Mhm.
and they create another big baby. Big ass slave. That's why these people are that size.
But I think I don't know. You guys can you explain? Help me understand this. You know, you're creating mulattoes, right?
Yeah.
Mulattoes.
Not all. Yeah, you're creating some mulattoes with
I don't know if the
women.
mulattoes of then, if that is,
No,
if they were.
those were house niggas. The history is there. That's how Africa was colonized, by the way.
Mhm.
Mulattoes.
Mhm.
These guys would come to Africa,
Mhm.
have kids,
Mhm.
leave the kids here. The kids would feel indebted and would want to show their father, I'm white too.
Mhm.
That's how we started selling niggas. Okay?
Mhm.
Because these kids, and then us as Africans will give them higher status.
Mhm.
Because we see them as like a hybrid.
Mhm.
And then they want to serve their white father.
Mhm.
And then they sell us, the Africans,
Mhm.
to their white fathers, telling us there's opportunities there. You're going to learn, you're going to
Mhm.
what?
Mhm.
They normalize us going out there. That's how we were enslaved. That's why mulattoes existed as house niggas.
Mhm.
They'd go quail down the field niggas.
Mhm.
When the field niggas were all up in arms,
Mhm.
a mulatto bitch from the house would send over, she'd get, kind of it was not kind of, it was an orgy. A few niggas would feel good, like I fucked a white woman today. And that's how it was. The white man has never ever given value to physical being, even to themselves. they do not respect their physical status, their body. It's not something they see as needing respect in any shape or form. They've always sold their women. And when I say sold, it's not at your marriage or whatever, what they tell we do. They've always given up their daughters and mothers and wives to other men to get a bag. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not something we did, but the sex slavery part of it, and this is the saddest bit. People think this is a thing of the past. It happens today. Go to Libya. There's markets of people being sold in Libya today.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
True.
Go to this red light district in Amsterdam. Okay, most of the girls in the red light district in Amsterdam are not there legally. They're actually slaves. And somebody will come collect the money you made today after servicing about 30. I know it's small winners since it's white people, but still 30 men. And that's because of feminism. These women are lied to. Hey, you know what I want to do? I want to go get mines in London. I want to go make some money in Amsterdam. You could be in your husband's house, pregnant, getting taken care of.
Let me share this video very quickly because time is not on my end.
Nobody talks about the 13-year-old girl on a breeding farm, forced to bear as many children as possible, only to have them ripped away and sent down south to endure a lifetime of hardship without a mother. Slave owners often bred their slaves to produce more workers. The function of such breeding farms was to produce as many slaves as possible for the sale and distribution throughout. In this video, we discuss the sad truth about American slave breeding farms. By the 1820s, planters and would-be planters were moving in large numbers to places previously unavailable for settlement, and growing the fiber for sale in Europe and New England, where a textile industry was beginning to thrive. The extension of the so-called Cotton Kingdom required new laborers. As of 1808, Congress ended the nation's participation in the international slave trade. Planters could no longer import additional slaves from Africa or the West Indies. The only practical way of increasing the number of slave laborers was through new births. With so much at stake, black women's reproductive role became politically, as well as economically, decisive. If enslaved mothers did not bear sufficient numbers of children to take the place of aged and dying workers, the South could not continue as a slave society. From many trusted history sources, it's made to appear that America had little choice but to increase slave production to offset the altruistic end of the international slave trade, which Congress banned in 1808. Thomas Jefferson was president at the time. He had no problem with slavery. He literally loved his slaves, failing to free even Sally Hemings, who bore him 6 children, 4 of whom lived to be adults. Jefferson was a Virginia farmer, knowing full well the value of slavery to the Southern economy. Congress at that time was controlled by the party he created, the Democratic-Republican Party. They didn't end the national slave trade to harm slavery, but preserved it, domestic slavery.
I don't believe he loved his slaves.
What do you mean loved slaves?
That is what he's saying. He loved his slaves.
What does it mean to love a slave? That's like saying, I hate and love you at the same time. Like those are contradicting statements. Hey, I love my slaves. Then pay me.
I know, right?
Pay me, man. If
Love your
me.
slaves. So that's why I'm saying that it doesn't sound like loved your slaves in what way? Like.
But you know the funny part? There's a psychological term of when you start loving your oppressors. What is it called? I can't remember. You can tell us in the comments. Yeah? But that's basically what black people have done to the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party was fighting against abolishing slavery.
Yeah.
It was actually the pro-slave party. But most black people today identify as Democrats.
Let me continue.
Particular. Wanted to decrease the external supply to keep prices up for the homebred slaves. Americans did not take up breeding slaves in response to congressional action. That action was taken at the behest of slave breeders as a protectionist means to keep the price of their product up. Jefferson's home state Virginia was the leading producer of slaves. Slavery eventually exceeded tobacco as their leading export. Maryland was second in slave production, followed by several other states. Economist Richard Such did a study which found that in 1860, on farms with at least one female slave, the ratio of women to men was 2 to 1. In Virginia, female slaves exceeded males by over 300,000. They were used to breed. Robert Lumpkin ran what is mostly referred to as a slave jail.
That's the correct word right there. They use the correct word. Breed. Okay, like dogs, like cows. What do you mean you can't give birth anymore? Take her back and shoot her. Okay, like literally, that's how they'd have orgies. And then what they do is they dehumanize both the man and the woman. That's why they call the man a nigger and they call the woman a bitch. Okay, because a bitch is a dog and a nigger is a racial slur. So you're no longer humans. Your two titles, a bitch and a nigger. And you give back to a girl, she's snatched from you and she becomes a breeder. She's breeded too. And your son gets sent to the fields. Basically China. Yeah.
With little recognition.
China has machines. America had slaves. Imagine 400 years of building a nation, building an economy, yet when you gain freedom...
China was poor though.
No, we're talking about America and slavery. We'll get to China. It's history in the making. But the US, 400 years of slavery for black people. And yet after that, they still want you to pay tax. And they still oppress you. Do you understand how messed up it is?
Don't give a shit.
You built this country
Imagine.
for free.
And you have to pay taxes.
For free. And now you're paying taxes.
And a lot more.
And they're trying to kill your community. They're telling you.
That's what I'm saying, a lot more. They kill you every day.
Abort your babies, black people.
Yeah.
Hey, do not vote. Do not go to school. Go to the street. Colleges are cool. You shouldn't be educated. You should be street smart. What do you... God dang.
Let me finish up.
That he ran the nation's largest breeding farm. He personally had 5 children with a slave Mary, who he ultimately remembered in his own. While owners of the breeding farms and plantations, in general, fornicated at will with their property, they also utilized selective breeding, maintaining their own large bucks and importing large male slaves for the purpose of breeding good workers for the fields. Black female slaves were some of the first people in the country to receive free health care. Breeders took a great interest in fertility and expected multiple births from the women, or their value would be diminished. Home medical journals were produced to help with difficult births that had previously been left to the slaves to deal with. Many films have depicted boats arriving in New Orleans, which became the largest slave market in the antebellum South. Rarely is it shown those ships originated in Richmond and Baltimore. Slaves were also shipped by railroad, packed in boxcars, or sent by stagecoach. The slave breeding farms are mostly left out of the history books except for those that deny their existence. Many of the white slave owners felt they were doing their female slaves a favor when they mated with them, granting them a respite from the brutish black slaves they would otherwise be subjected to. Generally speaking, it was the house slaves that got raped the most. Some mothers had to protect their offspring from the master's wife if she had reason to believe her spouse was the father. States such as Virginia produced slaves as their main domestic crop. The price of slaves was anchored by industry in other states that consumed slaves in the production of rice and sugar, and constant territorial expansion. As long as the slave power continued to grow, breeders could literally bank on future demand and increasing prices. That made slaves not just a commodity, but the closest thing to money that white breeders had. It's hard to quantify just how valuable people were as commodities, but the sublets try to convey it. By a conservative estimate, in 1860 the total value of American slaves was $4 billion, far more than the gold and silver then circulating nationally. Slaves were worth more than everything else they could imagine combined. Because slaves were property, Southern slave owners could mortgage them to banks, and then the banks could package the mortgages into bonds and sell the bonds to anyone anywhere in the world, even where slavery was illegal. In the 1830s, powerful Southern slave owners wanted to import capital into their states so they could buy more slaves. They came up with a new, two-part idea: mortgaging slaves, and then turning the mortgages into bonds that could be marketed all over the world. First, American planters organized new banks.
You have something to say?
Like, it doesn't sit well with me. Okay, just listen to this. Basically, slave trade created the global economy. Do you understand that? Slave trade was, people were the first people to be traded on a global scale. We traded each other. Man.
It's still happening. It's still happening, actually, if you come to think of it, but in different ways now.
I ask myself this question. What does being humane mean? Because if humanity can do this to itself, okay, we shouldn't use humane as a term, as a positive term. Like, being called a human should be an insult. Actually, being called Caucasian, you should actually, if white people deny your heritage, if I was white, I would never identify as a white man. I get why they're trying to bring this LGBTQIA. They can't fathom their own history. They're trying to create new versions of themselves every day. That's why they're trying to destroy everything that is the past, because their past is ugly. It's like trying to reinvent yourself after your Huda Monroe. It's hard, man. Too many dicks.
It is. But I'm saying, as I finish up this, because time is so gone, I think I've shared the video on WhatsApp, family. You can continue the rest of it. But the reason why I brought up this topic, because this history. Actually, this is a big part of history. If you look at today now, the type of sex slavery we have, it is kind of intended. You know, like you said, one, we have feminism. I think I understand that part. But we also have people who have been literally forced to it. Talk about, why do we have people why do we have sex for grades?
Porn.
You're crazy,
Johnny
right?
Sin. No, it was always like, I need a good grade. I'm willing to do anything. You see the teacher with anything.
We have sex for grades.
Yeah.
We have, I think, I don't know why me dressing up on a short dress, you need to come and rape me. I think you have as your mindset. I feel like your mindset is enslaved to think that the same way you say the white men saw us, you know, and they were like, okay, you know, the same way, that is the same mindset. Like, why can't you see us and let it pass? Why do you feel like you need to get, you know, to literally?
I'm not defending rapists. Okay.
Thank you. we have rapists. We have, like, if you look at today, I was reading this article as I wind up. Yeah, there's it's a story that has been going on. It's not only like in Nigeria, in so many African countries. We see women being exploited. Like, should I say exploited? Because it's like being exploited, you know, sexually.
How are they being exploited?
Sexually. Yeah, sexually. They've been exploited sexually.
How? Like getting touched kwa matatu.
One, yeah. Why? Who are you to? Do you know I'm supposed to? I have the right to slap you.
It's okay.
Most of the people, it's not okay.
Hey, it's your prerogative to defend yourself. But question is, will you defend yourself?
I will.
Adequately?
I will.
Upatane na donda pale hivyo Kemani. Kemani dry spell.
I will.
Bananuka jasho ya juice.
Imagine I will. Let me see if I can get the article, read it very quickly as I wind up, because.
Yeah, but that whole dress code and rape culture, it's a whole problem on a global scale. India is much worse than you think. India, it's bad. Women get raped in buses.
Oh shit.
Okay. There was actually protests in Delhi a while back over that. We had that issue in Kenya until that My Dress, My Choice started on TOT.
Yeah.
And women had actually to come out and defend themselves.
Yeah.
But you see this whole culture of this whole sexualized culture we have nowadays, it drives both men and women to those extremes.
Exactly, true.
Because it's not only women who get objectified.
True. Even
but when men
men
get objectified, women want to play it down.
Mhm.
They want to be like, see, you felt, nah, I didn't feel nice. Okay? Like yesterday, there was this Donda Super Metro. I don't know if you all saw that.
No.
So there was this fine Donda with a beard looking like a cross. And some woman recorded a video of him and posted it like, huyu hata nimemwachia change. He looks too good. Hata naeza, you get. And there was
Sexualizing.
hella bunch of comments, women going like, kwanza naeza taka kukalia yo. You get, and you're like, yo, how, imagine, make that a woman. Fine painting, ni Donda wa Super Metro, and then men are there going like, huyu naeza mchoresha saba, and I do that thing till the morning.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
It's not okay. True. It's not okay. But this actually, I was reading this story of sex workers, and I feel for me like that's why it's not all. I said it's not all about feminism. It doesn't come just from feminism. I feel like this is something that they have allowed it to happen on purpose. One, if I am to choose today, Kamlesh, to become a hooker, it's because there are many more jobs outside there. Secondly, either being like, especially I think I've seen this with single moms, sorry to say, single moms, and nobody wants to say this, but it's the truth. Single moms, most of them are the ones who are hookers, especially in our streets.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Single moms.
Ndio
wako na wababas.
I don't know about the wababas,
no,
but
it's true, because you don't have a job. How are you living in Kilimani? Okay? How are you living in Kilimani without a job and you have a car and you don't go nowhere? How are you inaitwaje we Thika Road? Kwanza Thika Road. Ruir.
I don't know.
Ruir.
I don't know, man.
Hey.
I don't know, man. But I feel like, personally, just to conclude the whole subject, sexual slave has been literally, apart from what the white man did, I feel like our puppets, they've still not done some things correctly, and this is why we are where we are today. I feel like despite from sexual workers being who they are, they need to be protected. Kama wezi wapatia job basi, at least secure. And I think there's a subject that was brought up actually some time back. They need to be literally secured. They need to be given protection, because most of these people are either, even by police officers especially. A police officer comes and tells you like, hey, can we do this? Then the last minute they put a gun on your face. They tell you like, hey, I'm not paying you.
I read the story.
I'm not paying you, so I'm your slave. I'm your slave, literally.
I read a story like that where this woman was saying she's a sex worker, and she's saying every time these police would arrest them, they'd actually have sex with them in the car. Like, you have to give him coochie for you to get out that shack. So wanakuja wanawacollect na wote wanapitiwa.
And then you wonder why HIV is spreading. I had a story.
Especially among cops.
Yeah.
Yo, your cops is positive.
They are very positive. Very positive. Very positive. But anyway, let me go through the comments very quickly as I wind up. I don't know even where I left, but I see someone, you're saying that many go and find how hard America and Canada and England is. And that's why I said, I shared a video which Africans want. Don't come to the UK, don't go to Canada, don't go to England. Shit is going crazy over there. And now we have 120,000 Nigerians literally signing for visas and everything in the name of education. Stay in your country, my friend. Fix your goddamn problems. Fix your country. You can't keep on running from your problems. You need to face them. Okay? You need a better education. We had that. Mali. We had the best university in Mali in history. And so many to mention. But right now we can't even talk about them because nobody wants to rebuild that. You want it to remain a history. Can you recreate it? It doesn't have to be the same way, but can you recreate that?
So Alexandria in Egypt was actually the mecca of knowledge for almost 400 years. Okay? Egypt taught the Romans math. Those are facts. Pythagoras, everything came from us.
Yeah.
Like we understood nature, and nature is mathematics.
Yeah.
And when you understand mathematics, everything becomes deductible. You can deduce everything. And that's what we did. But the colonization, we need to decolonize our minds.
Yeah, true.
And this is going to sound very controversial, but the first step to decolonizing your mind is to stop listening to your colonized parents.
True.
They cannot offer you original knowledge. They are so far down the rabbit hole of the oppressor, they do not understand how wrong they are.
True. Far away, yeah. Keith, I see you saying that yes, Joby, that came from the European culture because African women in the past wore little to nothing and didn't get raped by the African men. Exactly. Yeah. And Samuel, you're saying that yeah, the less educated live a lot too. My point is there is a brain drain happening in Jamaica. Jamaica doctors, teachers, nurses, etc. And I'm sure in the same in Kenya. I agree with you. Jiba is saying that the Mzungu ward you out and now it is endemic. And I also see you're also saying that the Mzungu always weaponize sex. And Keith is saying exactly those fake dresses that the white women wore to believe that they had us. And Keith is saying that yes, mulattoes destroyed Africa, and that's the destruction of black civilization. Jiba is saying that Kamlesh sounds like Jimmy the Greek and AI companies and Big Mommy and big black buck breeding. And you're also saying that the Bastil's wire. The Bastel wire frame to create make-believe, and Keith is saying exactly 100%, they have never respected the women, so it was never a problem to sell her off for power and wealth. And Jiba is saying that most European countries, it's illegal. Germany, especially Ukraine, it's a huge prostitution hub. Wow, okay. And I also see Jiba is saying that, yeah, I've shared the video. I hope you've seen it. And Kid is saying 100% Kamlesh. It is bullshit. They made money from them. And you're also saying it's called Stockholm Syndrome, Kamlesh. And Jiba is saying that...
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's actually Stockholm Syndrome is where you actually get to love your oppressor. Like this person oppresses you, you get attached to them psychologically and emotionally.
That's why the Africans love it. That's why the Africans love these bootlicking, no good, backstabbing ass crackers. That's why you love them. That's why you suck their ass and you worship them and you think they're your masters. Caribou Sana, goddamn. I'm one of the breeded niggas on the goddamn plantation. I don't got time to say Caribou Sana and niceties, goddamn it.
Amazing. I also see you say that Jibado is saying that free healthcare, that's what a regular but give me a break. Exactly. And Jibado is saying that white babies would suckle black maids and mummies into the 50s. And the kid also say that yes, exactly, Kamlesh, it made the Europeans wealthy beyond our belief, the trading of humans. And they're also saying that the African people, not humans really, to be specific, black people.
They never considered us
Africans.
No, but I'm saying that at this point, if you look at the human and the human with the human, they are not human.
They're not even human. The wealth of the planet was built last 500 years out the Africans' back, literally, in and out of the continent, literally. Their wealth is built off the back. So the idea you getting any kind of reparations from these no good bastards that stole away. Europe was always impoverished, backward, fucked up, ignorant. It's not what Campbell said about Alexandria. That's after the goddamn Greeks got there. That's later on. Africa, before the Greeks, before it was getting called Alexander, was teaching the whole goddamn world thousands of years. So they come in and they say, oh, the Greeks, Pythagoras and Socrates, all that fake shit, that's stolen legacy. That's stolen out of Africa and try to put these white people faces on African knowledge, because you're dealing with a goddamn psychopathic ass animal. That's what we're dealing with, psychopaths. That's what they are. That's why they can do this. What do you say?
He's saying they're narcissists, but I'm saying they're past narcissists.
They're past narcissists. They're psychopaths. Ain't no narcissist. And the whole society has been judged as psychopaths. But Campbell think they're upset. They're not ashamed by that. They still worship their damn ancestors for robbing and stealing and killing and stealing the world. They're not upset about that. That's why they got mad when the world was went around tearing down all these statues. Even the no good goddamn psychopathic ass Indian told the niggas in Ghana and other places in Uganda, you niggas bet not tear down that statue of Gandhi. When black people start realizing, God, the bullshit you've been talking about, wicked ass Gandhi, this racist ass, pedophilic ass Indian motherfucker. You were told lies. He's the great Mahatma and all that bullshit. When the Africans realized, hey, this motherfucker's racist and fucked up. Gotta say, hey, we gotta tear down the statue. The Indians said, you niggas bet not tear down that goddamn statue. I'm glad they tore it down, but old punk ass Museveni didn't tear it down. It's still in goddamn Uganda, right there. Rhea said that big ass statue is right on Lake Victoria, right there, and them goofy niggas ain't tore it down yet.
Museveni is our comedian. But anyway, family, I'll wrap it up. That time is really far gone.
Yeah.
I've taken 20 minutes of Katie, and I really want to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Kamlesh, for giving some points on my show. And of course, Kid, thank you so much for tuning in. So
why does Canvas, I always want to know this. Canvas is a dichotomy. Okay, let me say this first, Joe. We calm down now. Canvas and these other cats I had in Zimbabwe when I had Ruby Zai working for me in Zimbabwe and some brothers down there. How did these cats slip through the cracks and know what the fuck is going on while most of Africa is still ignorant as shit? It's like a dichotomy. It makes me happy, but it always like, how the fuck is he so smart and everybody else is so fucked up? It always like, it's strange to me. How does Canvas know so much? And it was one of Ruby Zai's friends too in Zimbabwe. When that brother would come on and talk, I said, how the fuck you know so much and the rest of Zimbabweans are fucked up? What's going on? How's it? Make it make sense to me. Help me out. Make it make sense.
Among the chosen few, that's what I'm saying.
Know thy enemy tactics.
Yeah, but he knows. And that brother, I forgot that brother. He reached out to me to help. I forgot that brother's name, but how the Camblishes and what's that other, I forgot that brother's name. It just amazed me that how Chinese in there whipping up Africans' asses and smacking them in the head. You got Camblis and the other dude in Zimbabwe. It's just a strange it's a strange paradox to find that kind of brilliance, but the majority of Africans are fucking sleeping and ignorant as shit. Don't even know this white man is their enemy and been their historic enemy. Shit's crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, allow me guys to wrap it up. Much love, family. See you guys on the Tubonge show. Bakiti is coming.
What about the Dalai Lama?
Yeah, the African Diary is coming right now after this. But see you guys on the Tubonge show. Thank you so much for showing up, showing love. Click the like button for those who haven't. And Asanteni Sana for interacting. Samuel, I appreciate you. I barely see you on most of my shows. But thank you.
Samuel beat you busy in Jamaica talking shit. You bumper clot.
Please don't try.
I know my Jamaican accent sucks, Joby. Shut up.
Try off air. Jabba mosquito to everyone. Asanteni Sana. Thank you. This has been the Pan-African
and damn you, George guy talking shit about you and Mosquito talking shit about my Jamaican accent.
Let a spade be called a spade, but much
love. And the funny thing, I've been to Jamaica more time than you Negroes, so kiss my ass.
Oh shit! You deserve it.
And bring a pedal key. Exactly right, Samuel.